What if I told you that most men, without even realizing it, are missing the one thing that older women secretly crave? Yes, 90% of men fall into the same trap. They focus on surface-level gestures, thinking that charm, compliments, or material gifts are enough. But to a woman who has lived, loved, and learned, these things barely scratch the surface. The truth is, there's a place far more important than you think. And I'm not just talking about physical touch. I'm talking about a deeper connection, something that reaches beyond the skin and touches the part of her that truly matters. This isn't about seduction. This is about understanding. It's about becoming the kind of man who sees through the layers and knows exactly where to reach, not just with his hands, but with his presence. Remember this. Real connection starts where most men never even think to look. Right now you have a choice. Remain like the rest, unaware, or become the rare man who understands what truly captivates her. If you're ready to unlock this secret, hit like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and comment below. I seek depth, not illusions. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Where she feels chosen, not just wanted. Most men think that giving attention to a woman is enough to make her feel special. They believe that she will naturally be drawn in by simply showing interest, but attention alone is cheap. Anyone can give it. What truly touches a woman is the sense of being chosen, not randomly, but deliberately, because of something unique in her. When you make her feel like she is the one you chose, not because she is convenient, but because she stood out among many, you elevate her experience from ordinary to unforgettable. It's not about saying, "I like you because you're pretty," but rather, "There's something about you that I don't see in others, something rare." This type of recognition stirs her deeply, making her feel like she's more than just another option. From the Stoic perspective, this act of choosing is never impulsive. You don't run after every opportunity just because it presents itself. You observe, you measure, you decide with clarity. The woman you give your attention to is someone you have considered, not someone you fell into by chance. The power of this is simple yet profound. A woman who feels truly chosen, who senses that your attention isn't scattered but focused, naturally feels a stronger emotional connection. She feels special, valued, and most importantly, seen. She realizes you aren't desperate, you don't need anyone. You choose her because you see something distinct, something only you noticed. This subtle shift from general attention to selective recognition does more than boost her self-esteem. It anchors her emotions to you. She now feels that your attention carries weight. It wasn't given lightly, and because of that she respects it, and you, far more. Comment below, "I choose with intention, not desperation." This is the quiet but powerful truth most men miss. You don't make a woman feel special by constantly validating her. You make her feel special by choosing her. Not because you have to, but because you want to, with discernment and composure. And that is what leaves a lasting mark. Number 2. Where she feels young again. In the rush of adulthood, most women gradually lose touch with the vibrant, spontaneous part of themselves. Responsibilities, expectations, and societal pressures often weigh heavily on their spirit. They begin to carry the seriousness of life in their posture, conversations, and even laughter. Most men, unknowingly, contribute to this by treating them with the same heaviness, over-planning, overthinking, or being too serious too soon. But the man who brings her back to life is the one who helps her forget about the clock, the deadlines, and the weight of the world. He's the man who brings back the spark of youth. Not by pretending to be young, but by showing her how to live fully in the present moment. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about reminding her of the version of herself who once laughed without worry, danced without fear, and felt alive without second-guessing. A Stoic man naturally brings this energy because he is grounded in the present. He doesn't obsess over what could go wrong. He doesn't drag her into unnecessary seriousness. He flows, adapts, and enjoys. When you say things like, "Relax, we're just here to enjoy ourselves," or make playful remarks that lift the tension, you're doing more than making her smile. You're taking her back to a version of herself she misses but rarely shows. What happens next is almost magical. She starts to loosen up. Her careful, guarded version fades, and suddenly she's laughing uncontrollably at your jokes, teasing you back or leaning in closer without realizing it. In that moment, she is not thinking about her responsibilities or the judgments of others. She is present with you, and that is where attraction multiplies. From a Stoic viewpoint, this isn't about acting childish or silly. It's about lightness. Your energy doesn't come from trying to impress her, but from simply being free yourself. That freedom is contagious. It gives her silent permission to let go too. Comment below, "My presence invites freedom." Remember, women are not looking for men who burden them more seriously. They already have enough of that. What they crave, often without admitting it, is a man who helps them feel alive again. And when you give her that space without forcing it, you become unforgettable. Not because of what you give her materially, but because of what you awaken inside her. Number 3. Where she feels an irresistible pull. There is a kind of attraction that goes beyond words, beyond logic, even beyond her own control. She feels the magnetic pull when a man enters the room, not because he's loud, flashy, or trying hard, but because he carries himself with calm certainty. Most men chase attraction by trying to impress, over-complimenting, or constantly proving themselves. But women don't want to be convinced, they want to be captivated. This kind of captivating energy does not come from force, it comes from presence. A Stoic man knows that true attraction arises when he no longer needs to chase, when he no longer needs to dominate the space through words or actions. He simply is. His calmness, his quiet confidence, and his relaxed demeanor make him stand out effortlessly. Women naturally desire to feel swept away, not manipulated but moved. They don't want to be pushed into emotions, they want to feel them organically. And that's why the most powerful attraction is the one that seems to emerge on its own. It's not about saying, "You're beautiful," every chance you get. It's about how you look at her, how your silence makes her lean in, and how you don't try to fill every gap with words. She remembers that tension, not your compliments, but the way you made her feel without speaking. The Stoic perspective teaches exactly this. A man who has mastered himself does not need to create attraction, he allows it to arise naturally. He is unaffected by her tests, her silences, or even her attempts to pull away. And precisely this calmness creates the paradox. By not trying, you make her want you more. The woman, without fully understanding why, finds herself drawn to you. She can't help but think about you, to seek your attention, to feel slightly off balance in your presence. It's not that you're withholding, you're simply composed. And composition is rare in a world full of men who overreact, over-explain, and over-pursue. Comment below. I don't force attraction, I allow it. Remember, it's not about being distant to appear cool, it's about truly being at peace within yourself. When you carry this subtle energy, you attract attention and create a desire that lingers. A desire she can't help but explore again and Number 4. Where she feels desired, not just admired. There is a subtle but vital difference between being admired and being desired. Most men, to be respectful or kind, often keep their interest too polite, too safe. They offer compliments like, "You're wonderful," or "You're amazing," thinking that these words will make her feel special, and while they may make her smile, they rarely stir anything deeper. Why? Because admiration alone doesn't make her feel like a woman, it makes her feel like a nice person. What most men miss is that women don't just want to be respected, they want to be wanted. They want to feel the spark, the tension, the barely controlled magnetism that says, "I don't just like you, I want you." This isn't about crude comments or crossing boundaries. It's about showing without always saying that your attraction is real, alive, and undeniable. The Stoic man knows this difference well. He doesn't over-verbalize his desire, nor does he hide it. He lets it simmer beneath the surface, through the way he looks at her, the way his voice lowers when speaking, the pauses that hold silence just a second longer than usual. It's in these small, almost imperceptible moments that she feels it. She senses the tension in how you hold her gaze, the calmness in your touch, and the restraint you show by not rushing to express everything. And this is what creates the shift. Suddenly, you are not just a friend or a kind man, you are a man she feels around, even when you're silent. From the Stoic point of view, this is about presence. You are fully there, not distracted, not needy, not over-eager. You simply allow yourself to desire her without trying to convince her, and paradoxically, the less you try to prove it, the more she feels it. This kind of tension awakens something essential in a woman. It makes her aware of herself as a woman, not just a person being complimented. It brings her into the present, where she feels alive, slightly off, balanced, and deeply intrigued. Comment below, "She feels it without me having to say it." In truth, you don't need fancy lines or constant validation. You need presence, restraint, and a willingness to let her feel your desire instead of hearing it spelled out. This is where admiration ends and irresistible attraction begins. Number 5. Where she feels dangerously feminine. Deep inside every woman is a hidden part that longs to break free from the controlled, polished version of herself that society often demands. The composed professional, the responsible daughter, the serious adult, these roles, while necessary, sometimes leave her disconnected from the wilder, more instinctive and playful side of her femininity. Most men, however, only ever interact with the surface. They never learn to awaken the part of her that wants to forget the rules, if only for a moment. But the man who can make her feel dangerously feminine, alive, unpredictable, and free is the man who leaves a lasting impression. This has nothing to do with reckless behavior or encouraging chaos. It's about creating a safe space where she lets go of control. The Stoic man does not force her into this state, he invites it by how he carries himself, playful but composed, teasing but respectful, light but grounded. You are doing more than flirting when you gently challenge her, make her laugh unexpectedly, or throw her off balance with a remark that makes her question her assumptions. You are showing her that you are not just another predictable man. You are someone who can dance with the unknown and pull her along for the ride. She doesn't just feel attracted in these moments, she feels alive. The cautious, always in control version of her begins to soften. And what emerges is a woman who is playful, spontaneous, and yes, a little wild. Stoicism plays a key role here. Your calmness is what makes this dynamic work. You are never pushing, never overwhelming, you are simply guiding the rhythm. You are stable enough that she feels safe, but unpredictable enough to feel excited. This balance is rare. Most men either play it too safe, never challenging her, or go too far, creating discomfort instead of attraction. When you master this, you'll notice how she begins to respond. The laughter becomes freer, the eye contact lingers longer. She starts testing you, teasing you back, wanting to see just how far you'll let her go. And in this dance, She doesn't just feel attracted, she feels like a woman who has stepped into a part of herself she had long forgotten. Comment below. I create freedom without chaos. When you give her the space to feel dangerously feminine, not by losing control, but by letting go safely, you don't just give her excitement, you give her a gift she rarely receives. And once she feels it, she will want to feel it again. Number 6. Where she experiences a night she can't forget. The most memorable nights are never just fancy dinners, expensive gifts, or meticulously planned activities. They are about connection, about moments that feel so vivid and so present that they imprint themselves into memory, making her long to relive them. Yet most men overlook this. They focus on the logistics, where to go, what to buy, what to say, while forgetting that what makes a night unforgettable is how you make her feel, not what you show her. The Stoic man approaches this differently. He understands that the magic is not in the details, but in the moments between the moments. It's in the way you look at her when she laughs unexpectedly, the subtle touch that lingers longer than planned, or the comfortable silence where neither of you feels the need to fill the air with words. When you're fully present, not thinking about impressing her, but simply being there, you open the door to a deeper connection, one that anchors her emotionally. Women remember how they felt, not how impressive the activity was. A night becomes unforgettable when she loses track of time. When the conversation flows so naturally, the energy feels so light yet intense that nothing outside the two of you matters. The world fades. The only thing that exists is this shared space, full of subtle tension, laughter, and warmth. From the Stoic point of view, you are not distracted, you are not overthinking, you are present, not anxious, not calculating, but calmly involved. You listen without judgment, you lead without forcing, you allow the night to unfold naturally, trusting that your genuine energy is more powerful than any pre-planned moment. And when the night ends, it doesn't feel like the end. It feels like the beginning of something she secretly wants more of, not because you said all the right things, but because you made her feel something most nights don't: realness. She remembers the way you made her laugh, unexpectedly, the steady way you held eye contact, the little moments that made her forget everything else. Comment below. I create moments, not performances. This is the key. An unforgettable night isn't built on showing her how much you've prepared. It's built on how fully you show up in every second. And when you do, you will leave her not only wanting more, but wondering when she will ever experience a night like that again. Number 7. Where she writes a new story of herself. Many women carry silent regrets, not necessarily tragic mistakes, but missed chances, dreams left unexplored, or parts of themselves they quietly suppressed to fit into life's expected roles. The responsible woman, the good girl, the people pleaser, or the perfectionist. Over time, these versions become the norm, and her free, adventurous, instinctive part is buried beneath layers of shoulds and musts. But what if you could be the man who offers her something different? Not by promising her escape, but by inviting her into a space where those old stories no longer apply. The Stoic man does this without even needing to try hard. His calm acceptance of life, his ability to detach from expectations, creates a silent but powerful invitation. You don't have to be anyone else when you're with me. When you approach her without judgment, without projecting who you think she should be, you give her space to experiment, to try things she wouldn't normally do, to say things she usually hides, to experience feelings she hasn't felt in a long time. She finds herself, perhaps without fully realizing it, rewriting her past. Suddenly, the things she thought she couldn't be, more playful, feminine, and daring, become real. Not because you pushed her, but because you allowed her. This is not about leading her into chaos. It's about giving her the emotional room to choose, and that freedom is intoxicating. The man who offers her space to be this version of herself will always stand out, not because he promises her the world, but because he gives her permission to explore parts of herself she has hidden, maybe even from herself. The Stoic's role is simple but powerful. He accepts reality, and through this acceptance he lets her be real. He does not demand, he does not correct, he does not guide her into the version of herself he prefers, he simply invites. And in doing so, he helps her experience something priceless. The feeling that her past does not bind her. Comment below, "I create space, not limits." This makes you unforgettable. Not that you made her escape her life, but that you made her feel like she could finally choose who she wants to be. And whether she realizes it immediately or only much later, this is the kind of man she will never forget. The one who helped her write a new chapter of herself. Number 8. Where she tests and rediscovers her power. Every woman, consciously or not, wants to know that she still has influence, that she can still attract, still spark curiosity, still make someone shift slightly under her gaze. This is not vanity, but a natural desire for emotional connection and affirmation. Yet most men either give this power away too easily or resist it clumsily, creating a dynamic of imbalance or insecurity. The Stoic man, however, sees this for what it is, a natural part of human interaction. He neither submits to it nor rejects it. Instead, he welcomes it, but on his terms. He allows her to test her charm, read his reactions, and observe whether she can still affect him. She might lean in a little closer than usual, speak teasingly, or watch for the flicker of surprise or attraction in his eyes. The question behind her actions is subtle but powerful. Do I still have it? Most men, eager to impress or fearful of losing interest, will overreact, becoming visibly flustered, too eager, or too resistant. But the Stoic man remains grounded. He notices everything but reacts to nothing too quickly. His composure becomes the test. Ironically, the more composed he remains, the more intrigued she becomes. This is the tension she craves, not because she wants to dominate you, but because she wants to feel her own femininity reflected. She wants to see that she can still stir emotions, but also that you are strong enough not to be overwhelmed by them. This delicate balance is what creates electric chemistry, the playful glance, the unexpected silence, the smirk that suggests you noticed but chose not to fully reveal what you're thinking. These are the moments that make her pulse quicken. From a Stoic perspective, this is mastery of self. You observe without reacting wildly. You allow her to test you, not as a power struggle, but as an invitation to deeper connection. You give her the gift of letting her feel her beauty and magnetism without sacrificing your own strength. Comment below, "I let her test, but I don't flinch." This is how you create a space where she enjoys being around you and rediscovers a part of herself. She feels feminine, powerful, and alive in your calm presence. Not because you handed it to her, but because you allowed it without surrendering yourself. And this, without forcing anything, is what makes you unforgettable. You started this video thinking it was all about where to touch. But now you know that true touch isn't just physical, it's emotional, psychological, and deeply human. Older women don't fall for shallow gestures. They are drawn to presence, to energy, to a man who knows how to reach places no one else dares to. She never wanted you to impress her, she wanted you to truly see her. If you're ready to keep evolving, like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I am unshakable. Stay steady, keep refining yourself, because the man who understands her will never need to chase her.